Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the FordTechMakuloco channel. Today I have another AC quick tip for you to help you diagnose your AC system on your Ford F-150 or Ford Expedition like you see here. Now what's really common with these vehicles since I would say 04 is there's a new style clutch. I'll get it right now, I'll show you guys so instead of talking about it. There's a new style clutch on these that they use that has a center hub and then an outer part of the clutch here, and it's separated by about a 1/4 inch of rubber, okay? Well, what happens, as you can imagine, after all these years, it's the only thing holding the two together, dry rots, they separate from the metal parts they're attached to, and then they start, it breaks apart and they go boom, or it may just start squealing like a friggin' pig, and all of a sudden, you lost your AC on there. And it's like, why'd this happen out of nowhere? And it was just working fine, it was cold as can be. Well, your clutch hub separated. So today, this one, it's separated on there, but it's still kind of binding up. It's loud as can be. So we're gonna show you what it sounds like, and then we're gonna show you exactly how it fails on there. And then I'll have a separate video on how to actually get in there, swap it out, shim it, and then fix it. It takes about 5 minutes as long as the AC pulley behind it is okay, and most of the time they are. So it's about a 5-minute job. It's not too bad. All right, let's go ahead and take a listen. All right, here we go. You guys ready for this? Turn the key on. Get it started up. Whoa, what was that? That was the AC compressor. So let's go ahead and turn the AC on. All right. All right, so what do you guys think? It's a pretty crazy noise, right? I mean, imagine driving down the road and all of a sudden, crazy noises under the hood and popping noises, boom, and then you lose the AC and you're just fearing the worst. But in the end, it's just real cheap, real quick fix. It's so quick, in fact, that I've decided to just go ahead and show you guys how to replace these while the compressor is still in the vehicle. It's a very quick 3, 4, 5 minute fix. And you're back on the road. So this is the old clutch on here. You just kind of tap on it and they'll separate 90% of the time. You see that right there? So here's a center hub on here. It's all metal. And then we have the disc itself, the clutch disc, and the rubber right here, the ring. And once they separate from rust and dry rot over the years, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna start squealing at first, and then they'll spin so much it'll actually melt the rubber out of here, and there'll be no noise eventually. So, now this applies to the 04 new body style F-150s like you see here and newer, and then 07 and newer Ford Expeditions and Lincoln Navigators started using this style clutch on there. Let's go ahead and show you how to fix it so you can get your AC back up and running. All right, so the easiest way to do this is from underneath the vehicle. You can see the AC compressor is right here. So in the Ford Expeditions, for most years, let's say 07 on, the whole part of the fan shroud here actually push fastener here and over here. Once you pull those out, the whole thing flips up and locks into place out of the way, just like this. So you have really easy access to it. Whereas the Ford F-150s, 04 on, it's pretty easy to get to even with the fan shroud on there because it is such a simple job, okay? But either way, it's in the passenger side, lower part of the engine. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you up here and show you just how fast it can be to change one of these out on here. Let's get you up in here. All right, now with the engine off, of course, make sure the key is out so it does not start on us. We're simply gonna come up in here and find the AC clutch. There's an 8mm bolt right there. If you have only hand tools, you may have to hold the clutch while you're pulling the bolt out. It's generally not torqued too well, and it's pretty low torque on there. And then the actual hub on here, it just pulls right off. I mean, it slides on and pulls right off. It's not pressed on or anything, okay? There it is. So that's the old one. Now on the back side here, what you want to inspect is to see how grooved it is back here. So the center part right here is the relief on there that takes in the friction material from the clutch over there, the pulley I mean. Piece of rubber right here, get that out of there. So right here, there's a strip of friction material. So make sure that's intact and everything's good to go. It's not too grooved on this side. If so, and the bearings are fine in the pulley, which most times they are, you could simply just change the failed part right here, which as you just saw fell right off. So on the inside of here, there's going to be a little washer. That's a shim. So it's shim based on this compressor and the position of that pulley and all that good stuff. So in reality, you can just reuse that shim. So make sure it's in there, come over to the bench, knock it out of there, and we'll put it into the new one. If you just want to get a little pick or something like that and get it out of there, see right there, don't lose it. It's a specific size shim. We're going to take it and put it into the new one. Okay, so our new AC clutch is all pre-built. You pop the shim in there, it's laying nice and flat. Okay, you can see that, you can see all the way through there. So our shim's in there already. So you're gonna keep it tilted back like this a little bit. Get it in there, and then only level it out when you're ready to put it on there. Make sure you line it up on there. Be careful so shim don't fall. And you can see I went all the way to the pulley on there. Get this fan blade out of your way. So the clutch itself pushed all the way on to almost touching the pulley, so we know the shim is still in place on there. So at this point, by hand or with a small impact, we're going to put our 8mm bolt back in. And then we're going to hold it. And that's it. So there's a couple ways you can do this. At this point, you're supposed to use a feeler gauge and get it in here and check the clutch gap on there. The biggest thing you want to do, you could just visualize this gap. You can look on the side here and see if it's nice and close, yet you can hear it's not touching and constantly dragging. It's pretty obvious. I'm just turning the internals of the compressor right now. So like I said, you can pretty much just use the original shim, bolt it onto there, snug it up, and you're done. That's it. Of course, when it's all done, good to go, the next thing you want to do is get everything cleared out of here and then get a light up in here and look, turn the AC on and watch it cycle on and off, and make sure it's not dragging and make sure it's engaging nice and smooth on there and the gap is not too big. What I'm going to do now, or attempt to do, is bring it over, give you a little bit better visual of the gap that's on mine. I know lighting is horrible up inside of here. Okay, let's try that again with a better light. So I'll try to get you in here so you can see the gap on here. You can see the gap is nice and small. There's a nice close air gap on there. And if you want the actual specs for the air gap, I'll link to them down below in case you want to use a feeler gauge and really check it. But the biggest thing is a good visual, and then spin it. And make sure it's not dragging at all on the actual pulley. And sure enough, this one is absolutely perfect using the original shim. And that is how it should look and sound. Look at that. Quick, easy fix. All right, that is all for now, ladies and gents. I hope this video has helped you fix your Ford's AC system yourself. I'll see you next time, guys.